Good morning. Chantal. Where is she? Oh, look at her. She's so cute. Little puppy. Hey, everybody.
Hi.
I need to send a note to Shireen and see if she's coming. Why can't I get anything to work today? Have you ever had those times when no matter what you do, technology-wise, like it's just not working?
Every day of my life.
It's like, come on. Okay, Shireen. Somebody was telling me it's all the solar flares right now. Joni will not be able to join us. She runs a networking thing on the second Tuesday of every month at the same time. So, okay.
I love that color on you, Debbie. That's so great.
Thank you. I love this color too. It's my Barbie pink, goes with my fingernails. But I changed my cup color this week because I had to, take the other one home and stick it in the dishwasher because there's no way in hell I'm getting this shit back again. Excuse my French. No, no, no. Okay, I'm so excited to see all of you. So I want to know who you are. I'll give you a bye today on unless you want to talk about because one time I did this and I gave people a bye and they're like, I've been working on this. I'm like, so you do you. If you want to share how you show up in service in the world, you go for it. And then just one thing that's on your mind today. I will tell you, my mind was blown yesterday. Some of you are going to laugh at me. I've never used OneNote before, and I think I'm in love.
Aw.
It's a pretty cool tool. So, Shireen, I'm going to pass it to you.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I'm Shireen Fisher. I am the CEO and founder of Lodgewell, and we connect people with places for unforgettable stays and gatherings in fully furnished vacation rental homes. And something on my mind is make it happen. Showed up last night. I am increasing my revenue at Lodgewell. And so I was like, you need new homes. And so today I'm like, we're getting 10 new homes in 10 days. And then like, what will it take?
Good. Yeah, that inspired action behind it too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
cool.
it showed up as stop being silly. Like, what does it take? Like just circling in like, woo. I'm like, okay, what does it take?
That question, I love that question because for me, my experience with using that question is it calms me down, right? Like it takes that, I can't remember off the top of my head today if it's parasympathetic or sympathetic. I think it's parasympathetic that's fight or flight. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. I think so.
Yeah.
Sympathetic is fight or flight. Parasympathetic is relax.
I'm going to take Chantal's answer on that.
And Chantal, what was the first one?
Sympathetic is fight or flight, and parasympathetic is rest and relax.
Okay, so it takes me into a parasympathetic, because it just like calms me down. So I just love that question. So yeah. Okay, Miss Shireen.
Yeah, last night it was like, and I was excited to get up this morning.
Good.
I was like, make it happen.
That's always a good
I pass it to Jessica.
And how many more days?
Oh my goodness, you guys, it's 20 days.
So now we're counting on our fingers and our toes.
Right. I have enough digits. That Luna really wanted to be a part of the meeting. So
okay,
she climbed up on my lap. I am Jessica Bonar, and I offer people a different lens to view their life so they can have greater access to happiness, joy, peace, and contentment. The thing that is on my mind is that I would like to vent and not fix it at the moment. And because even the ideas or suggestions of how to look at it differently, how to get out of it, how to whatever, sound overwhelming to consider.
Hey, Jessica,
Day by
I
day.
I don't know if y'all know, but Jessica's going to come to Austin for a little visit. I really did like this Brian guy that worked with me for 60 minutes. I mean, Jessica, if you want to meet Brian while you're here, it was
Yeah,
it was a good exercise and release.
I think it sounds great.
Yeah.
Yeah, when are you going to Austin?
Thursday morning, I
Oh,
leave
nice.
Thursday or like noonish, right? But because I live in a place that doesn't have has like 3 direct flights, so
It's
it's gonna
not to
take me a
Austin.
hot second to get there. But yeah, so I'll get in Thursday night. I was hoping to be able to stay longer, but I just have a smattering of like commitments that I cannot not keep. And so like some things, you're like, oh, I can move that meeting, I can this, but
Yeah.
I have I'm part of the leadership academy for one of the chambers, and we have our gathering, our last like field day tomorrow, and then we have graduation on Tuesday. And so it was like, okay, well, I cannot be gone for an entire week, but
You are
I-
always welcome here. So you may
Thank you.
come. You may, after coming in June, you may want to come in October, November, December. Your next visit.
But somebody goes, it seems very warm where you're going. And I go, well, I was having a meltdown about a month ago, and Shireen and my friend offered it to me. And I go, it sounded great at the time because it was 60 out.
Bathing
So.
suit weather. Okay, pass it on, my dear. Good to see you. Smile.
Shauna, what's up, girl?
Good morning. I'm Shauna McKinnis. My husband and I own Remax Real Estate Team, and we help people meet their real estate goals by educating them and helping them through the process with love. What's on my mind? I have a couple of things on my mind. One is that I keep getting debilitating heartburn, and it literally takes me out, and it happened again this weekend. And yesterday things happened that I do not even remember because of it. Like craziness. So that's just like really sticking with me. I've got to figure this out.
Hey, Shauna,
That's going to be it. What?
I'm going to recommend to you make an appointment with Joni.
Okay.
Because then
And I'm gonna,
she won't put you on any kind of like antacid, because really antacid is opposite of what a
It
person.
doesn't help at all. I have these little teeny pills that my acupuncturist suggested that work 99% of the time, but when they don't,
Yeah.
What does Louise Hay say?
I don't know.
Give me a
that
second.
crazy
What
bitch.
did you start to say, Jessica?
My dad was going through a bout of this recently, and finally was like, all right, I'll go see the doctor. And she actually put him through a handful of heart tests because there's that incredible overlap. And so I was just going to ask, have you investigated that side of it?
I've actually taken myself to the emergency room because it was so bad I thought I was having a heart attack. So yeah. Thank you.
Awesome. Just want to make
Thank
sure,
you.
because
Yes.
sometimes people are like, oh, I knew a woman that was like, I'm just having the worst back pain. I just have never had anything
Yep.
like that. She was having a heart attack. So
My dad did the same thing. Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you for that, Jessica. Okay, are you ready for this?
Ready.
Fear, period, fear, period, fear, period. Clutching fear, period. That's what
No
I'm
idea what you
I'm
people are
unclear.
talking about,
I'm
and
unclear
leaving
what
this
she's
meeting
saying.
right now.
Okay, hold on. Two of you were talking at the same time. Shauna, say what you were going to say, and then I want to hear what
I said, I
Shireen-
have no idea what you're talking about, and I'm leaving this meeting right now.
Shireen, what were you going to say?
I'm confused at what Louise Hayes thinks it is.
And Jessica, I heard you say that, bitch.
I know. That crazy bitch. I looked up a couple of things the other day and I was like, fuck you, Louise. Like,
Right? Um, okay, and here's what her new thought pattern says. It says, I breathe freely and fully. I am safe. I trust the process of life. That's what Louise says. I feel like I'm on some PBS show. That's what Louise says. I might have to do a post about that. That's funny. Shauna, I'm sorry that you're putting up with that, but I will tell you, like looking at that, I don't know if you are there yet or not, but with my sickness, I looked at it because I literally am never sick. And last year on my birthday in April, I got COVID, and it feels like my lungs have been compromised slightly, right? Because of that. And so 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, whenever it was, when I got it the first time, I thought, oh, okay, this is not going to be an annual thing. We're going to like get over this. And then getting this the second time, as I was kind of processing, I thought, oh, interesting. The first one felt like a real release because I was shifting my business model. And so it was like this like stress tension just like left my body. Excuse me. And then this time it was like, you know what? I'm really grateful. It feels like there is all this old like congestion in my chia pets, whatever they call it, your chi, your chai, your whatever they call it, right? Like all this congestion in my body, in my spiritual body, all of the stuff that, because it was coming out of every orifice except I wasn't puking. And so it's like, it was like it's releasing old pent up stuff. So you might even spend a few moments today, like showing love to your heartburn and like gratefulness. I know that sounds really quirky, but it might talk back to you and give you, not talk back to you in the realm of having more heartburn, but like there might be something there. And who knows, when I said fear, 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 did that anything come up for you?
Well, yeah, well, when I give my presentation, we'll probably see some of that.
Oh yeah. Because you're doing your presentation today. Yeah, and it was interesting because Jessica was telling me, it's kind of hard to dream right now until this next 20 days are over. So we're going to pick another date before we get off this call as to when she's going to do it. And I also said to her, I said, what happens sometimes too for people is when you're ready to share your vivid vision, all of a sudden your body and your like subconscious mind, like there's stuff that happens. Like it happened with the last group. It was like, oh, I can't like this is like blah 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 and this and blah 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 blah, and I'm like, oh, it's interesting how the brain works, right? Like no judgment, it was just it's interesting how the brain does work. And so but I completely understand too what Jessica's saying. It would be hard because you're like it feels like quicksand right now and hanging on by a straw, right? Like you're breathing through a straw. And so but with that, yeah, so some of that heartburn, Shauna, might have to do with getting ready for today. So maybe it will dissipate. We're going to manifest that. So Chantel, bring us home, my dear.
Okay. My name is Chantal, and I help teen girls build unbreakable mindsets through our amazing coaching and therapy services. I have lots on my mind. My hands are covered in paint because I'm painting doors. So I'm like, will I hang the bathroom doors up today? Stay tuned. And it's my kiddo's 11th birthday today, and my mom's bringing McDonald's, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm gonna enjoy some McDonald's fries soon.
I love it.
And yeah, and then I work later this afternoon, so my mind's also thinking about my clients who I'm gonna see and what we're gonna work on and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, awesome. And you know what, Chantel reminds me, and I would like each of us to go through and say this. And what I want you to do, and we'll just go in the same order that we went in. And even if you don't feel it right now, it's about being it till you become it. Because every single one of you are badass business owners. Every single one of you. And if you don't like the word badass, that's fine. You can change it. But I want you to say, hi, my name is Debbie Heiser, and I am a badass business owner. Then pass it on to the next person. So Shireen, let's start with you because we started with you. And then I think it's Jessica, Shauna, and Chantel. Oh, you're on mute. We can't have it be on mute when you do your whole like I'm a badass routine.
I was geared up, man. Hi, I'm Shireen Fisher, and I am a badass business owner. I pass it on to Jessica.
My name is Jessica Bonar, and I am a badass business owner.
Okay,
Shauna.
Jessica, I'm going to ask you to do something. I want you,
Yeah.
and I know you're kind of feeling down, but I want you to stand up. Uh-oh, did you just freeze?
You literally froze her.
I know. Isn't that amazing how those kind of things happen? And I want you to stand and I want you to remember like a time when you felt the most confident. And I'm thinking about those pictures where you're walking down the street and that really amazing, I think it was an orange coat. And I want you to I want you to stand up and I want you to feel into that energy, even though you may not be experiencing it today. I want you to feel into that past experience, whatever past experience for you.
Okay.
Okay.
And say it again.
Yes, please.
My name is Jessica Bonar, and I'm a badass business owner.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you. Did that feel different to you?
A little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
It felt like half more powerful and half bullshit, but
Yeah.
you know, like fake it till you make it ish.
Yeah. And I would say it's the half of you that wants to say, I'm a badass, that's not faking it, right? Yeah.
Right.
I just wanted you to be able to tap into that a little bit.
Thank
Okay,
you.
Miss Shauna.
My name is Shauna McInnes, and I am a badass business owner. Chantel?
Give me goosebumps. My name is Chantal and I'm a badass business owner.
Yes.
Debbie?
I thought I started.
Did
But
you?
my name is Debbie Heiser and I'm a badass business owner. Thank you. Okay. So, Miss Shauna, you are up for your vivid vision. Let
Okay.
me allow sharing of screen. If you want to share your screen, you're welcome to. And prep us, do whatever you need to do to tell us what's happening today.
Okay, so I chose, obviously I had business and financial and I chose spiritual. Because I feel like that's some of where that whole fear comes from and my inability to just live a peaceful life without so much crazy worry. So that's why I chose it. So we'll see here if I can share my screen with you amazing women. Screen.
Yay!
Oh, look at me go. All right. Okay, I gotta find it. There we go. All right, now I have to move you people. Feel so smart right now. Okay, here we go.
You are smart.
Oops, except for I'm in the wrong place. So you'll see that I have lots of pictures because I am super visual. And all of the things in these pictures are the things that just like make me happy, bring me joy, make me giggle, make me proud. All of the things.
Will you tell us a little bit about each of the photos?
Sure. So this picture here, I don't know, can you see my cursor?
Yep. It's showing a little blue dot.
So yeah, so the first picture is a picture of Randy and I at our cabin with all of our grandkids that we took 2 summers ago on a family, like we just did a family reunion. This is me skinny dipping with when Kelly, some of you know Kelly Klein. We went on a hike up to some waterfalls up by where Joni lives. And one of my like bucket lists was to go skinny dipping because I was 55 and had never been skinny dipping. And we found a very private place. And so I went skinny dipping and I asked her to take a picture of my clothes. Laying because I was part of the badass group and I wanted to send my badass group a picture of my clothes laying on the rock because they would know. And I actually have an entire set of photos of my skinny dipping experience thanks to Kelly Klein because she's wacky. This is just from one of my photo shoots last summer. I am a quilter, and so I took a quilt and it was part of one of the photo shoots. The next one is just a hike that my family and I went on. I like hiking. It brings me joy. It is exercise. I like being out in nature. This is just another picture from one of my silly photo shoots that I did. The one at the bottom with me hugging the lady in the blue coat. When I turned 55, I decided I was going to run a 5K, and that is Angie Harris, who was, excuse me, my badass coach, and she cheered me on. She's the one that she put the 5K together. And she was my coach. She got me through it. It was hard. It's probably the hardest thing I've ever done in my life, to start running at 55 and do a 5K. And she ran the last block with me with her microphone, screaming into the microphone how awesome I was. And my family was there waiting for me at the finish line. It was probably one of the best experiences of my life. These are all of my children and their significant others. And a couple of years ago, when Randy's mom passed away, she left us a little bit of money, and we took some of it and went to Las Vegas with our kids to an Aerosmith concert. And it was just a true blessing to be able to spend that time with them and get to pay for everything that they did that time. It was just a blast. The next one is just at the lake. It's my kids and grandkids out on paddle boards and in the kayaks, and they were trying to push one of them off, and we were just having a great time. And the last one is Anthony Lakes, which is a ski resort where I ski. So
Thank
just
you.
things that bring me joy.
Mhm.
Okay, so I started off with financial. So I'm a woman who truly believes that I have enough to work as much as I want to. I am a woman who knows and understands her budget and is very content with it. Now, I am a woman who knows that there is enough and we can continue to help the people we love financially.
Hey, really quick question, if you don't mind my asking.
Mhm.
And it might just be semantics, that I am a woman who truly believes that we have enough to work as much as I want to. Do you mean like
Maybe it
enough?
should be to only work as much as I want to?
Oh, I see. That we have,
Enough financial, we have enough money that I only have to work as much as I want to.
yeah, I get it now. Sorry.
Okay. I
No.
can-
Yeah, I took it as I work by choice, not by requirement.
That is what yes, yeah.
Perfect.
So my belief, we will have enough money to last our lifetime.
Wait a
The
second.
financial-
Do you believe that, or?
I do now, because we had a meeting with our financial consultant last week, and we have enough money to last our lifetime.
Good. Okay, cool. Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
it, is it will have, or, and again, this is semantics, Debbie, but
Right.
if we're all going through it,
Well,
we will
so
have,
this-
or we have enough money.
This is a 3-year goal, right? This is
Right.
how I see myself in 3 years. So that's how I looked at it.
But I'm asking Debbie, are we writing these things as if they are true? Or are we writing these things as they will be true? 'Cause I'm still working on my vivid vision.
Yeah, so it's yours. So however you want to do it, right? And I think where I'm hearing Shireen too, Shauna, is if you're saying 3 years from now, this is where you will be versus I am this 3 years from now. But I would almost recommend to you to go back through this and say it as if you were saying this and it's 3 years from now.
Okay.
Right. And so just a slight tweaking of some of the words around, we have enough money to last us a lifetime, right? Because
Perfect.
will is almost a little bit, and these are super subtle, Shauna, like super subtle things, because it's similar to saying money is coming. Well, if I say money is coming, it's going to be in this constant state of coming and not arrive,
Sure.
right?
Okay, makes
So,
sense.
so just think through as you read through some of these, I'm happy. Oh, and we didn't ask you, like, what do you want us to do? Do you want us to provide feedback as we're providing?
Yeah, I always want feedback.
Okay, I'm sorry, I just realized that. But
No.
like as we go through here, we can point out some of those. So anyone, on here, feel free to, like, if you see some words that it feels like it's not necessarily what's the word I'm trying to say? That it's not fully as if it were 3 years from now, then we can do that. Did we lose Chantel?
I think she may have had to leave because her mom
Yeah.
got there.
She sent a
Oh.
message.
Oh, okay, cool. Sorry, I just didn't see that. Okay, so we
Oh.
have enough money to last us a lifetime, like as if it's happening.
I
And
will fix that.
okay, and so as we go through here, knowing that you wrote it looking forward versus being forward and saying it's occurring now, just all of us keep that in mind. And then as we go through, we can kind of point some out too. Okay, cool. Thank you. And
Perfect.
honestly, wait a second. Shauna, I want to spend a moment here with Shireen and Jessica to witness this. And I'm not sharing out of context here, but because you've shared some of this in the past. But when Shauna first came and talked to me, like she chose to do the deep dive instead of have extra coaching throughout the year. And we did part of her deep dive with her husband. And when we looked at money, like that was a big fear of yours that you wouldn't have enough to be able
Well,
to.
yeah, I mean, we financially have supported my parents because they don't have enough, and I do not want to be that for my kids.
Right. And so that's a big deal that you believe that and know now that you have enough money to last you a lifetime. So congratulations. That's big. And I
Thanks.
keep looking to the right because you guys are in a strip to my right. So, okay.
Um, the financial decisions we have made have been wise and provide us with steady, comfortable sources of income.
Perfect.
My habits. I plan financially and I stick to my commitments to myself and others. I meet with my wealth management consultant twice yearly and trust their advice. And we keep up with our rental properties on maintenance and rental income amounts, which historically has been not so much the maintenance, but we just turned them over to a property manager and we were taking a bath on what we could have gotten for rent. So I think that that's a really important habit for us to have.
So do you still have the rental company managing it for you and you're just now tracking you've got
Yes.
your arms around the numbers is what I hear you
Yeah.
saying.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Goals. So the goals are for 1 year from now, correct?
Mhm.
Okay. Yep. Okay. So to redo our wills and possibly set up a trust, to fully fund our simples and our HSA for both Randy and myself, to pay off our HELOC, and to take money from each check and put it in investment, and $100 to add to a fun vacation fund.
Okay.
So we already have a habit of every time we get a check, we put it in a fund money. And that usually funds our vacations, but we've decided that we're going to we haven't come up with the number yet. So you'll see just a dollar sign from each check. It'll be based on how much they are, that we'll put in our investment account.
Oh, okay. See. And what's a simples?
Simple IRAs.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. Business. I am a woman who owns an office that fully supports itself without financial compensation from the McKinnises. I am a woman who is able to work remotely and have a person in office I work with to take care of clients and brokers when I am enjoying myself, and I trust and rely on them to handle what they need to. I am a woman who could easily sell the business and work for it should we choose to do so.
Yeah, quick question.
Mhm.
On the second one, and Shireen, whoa.
Sorry.
Yeah, no worries. And Shireen and Jessica, feel free to jump in here. And actually, I'm going to take a moment and let you guys jump in here. But on the second one, I like that I'm a woman who is able to work remotely, and I have a person in the office that takes care of the clients and the brokers. Um, and then this whole when I am enjoying myself, subtle in the subconscious mind, it leads to the perception that you're not enjoying yourself when you're in the office.
Huh.
Was that purposeful?
No. No, it's completely subconscious.
Yeah. Yeah. And so it might just be, I am a woman, and then just stop it at brokers. And
Okay.
it might be a fourth one that says, I take time away from my business to play.
Okay.
Right. And I thought about like to work to take care of clients and brokers. And this allows me to also enjoy myself when I am away. And, because I know what a big deal it is for you to say someone else is going to take care of it. And I believe that's true.
Yeah.
Big deal.
So,
You're right.
Being a business owner that fully feels you on this one, I wonder if the enjoy myself might be more in the line of peace of mind, or just like not even thinking about the office when you're away, like something more in instead of like in, because there have been a few things recently, no accidents in this group, and think just the subtle freaking nature of our language and how invasive it is. And I'm started a new Audible, and it proposes that those are the things that sink the deepest into our subconscious, because we're not even disputing them. Like the things that we actually have a dialogue about with ourselves, like, is that true? Is that not true? Like that doesn't sink as deeply. But these little subtle things go straight in. Oh, I don't enjoy myself at the office.
Yeah. And Shireen, to your point, they are super subtle. Like I got called yesterday by my coach. She's like, you're shaming your shame. I'm like, that's an interesting
You're
concept.
like, let me think about that. Like,
right? And so, like, I love what you're saying there too, because it might be, and Jessica, to your point about like, I enjoy myself at work and allow myself to leave work
behind.
and, yeah, behind, because I have an office manager or a person in the office that takes care of everything as well as I do.
Yeah, I like that, as well as I do, or something, or better than I
Yeah.
do, or, I don't know what it is. But yeah.
And
Perfect.
I
Thank you.
think for me, like just knowing you, Shauna, that the word trust and rely is a really big thing for you to say, that you trust someone else and you trust that you can rely on them. I think like I would, from our conversations and what you've shared in the group, like I would see if you can maintain those words in whatever adjusted verbiage you have, because those are really big, bold statements for you.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
And then I would just make a fourth one where you say something about, like, even though you're putting something about it in this one, like having another one that says, I am a woman who can play and not worry about the business. And I don't even like not worry.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to correct you on that. Or whatever the word is, but I'm coming up with, I am a woman who is able to work remotely with immense confidence in my team while I'm away, or something like that. I can go and play whenever I want, confident that, like, don't put the not in there.
Yeah.
Um,
And honestly, when you get to spiritual, that may be where it's at, that you go play. Because that Shauna on that first, the reason I asked you to go through each one of those pictures is the Shauna that I always see in these pictures is very different. Well, it shows up sometimes differently than when you're talking about business, right? And the alignment of who you are is important. And so that play is really important for your spiritual, like being too. So yeah. So to that point, Jessica, I think too, the trust and rely, Shireen, I think, like all of these, hopefully, Shauna, you can take some of that and kind of go back and do some.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, for sure.
And I would even say, up here, I love that I'm a woman who owns an office that fully supports itself. And then like eventually throughout this year, because sometimes this will happen, you guys, where it's like, okay, I could end it there, but I want to be very specific about we personally are not putting any finances into the office, right? Like,
Yes.
so I completely understand why that's there. But then as you guys go through this, these I am statements, these beliefs and these habits, as you start to go, like I'm going to use an example. If I were someone, like a habit that I'm trying to build is to brush my teeth every night before I go to bed, and I start brushing my teeth every night before I go to bed, and it just becomes a part of a habit that I do, then I can take that off the habit because I don't need to focus on it anymore, right? And then there's other subtlety things that we put in there, or other things that, oh, maybe I want to put some moisturizer on because my face is looking like paper, right? Like, and there's other things then that you can add on as you go. So leave that there, but be conscious that all of you, that there are some statements that you may choose to then 6 months from now just say, I'm a woman who owns an office that fully supports itself, period. Right? Cool. I love photos.
Thank you, everybody. Okay, my beliefs. Remax Real Estate Team is one of the top offices in Union County. Our culture is nothing short of amazing, and brokers contact us often about being a part of our office. We are able to choose who will best fit the culture we strive to keep and deliver. I am knowledgeable about trends and changes in the market, and I keep the brokers in our office up to speed on all they need, and they see the value I provide. Clients continue to, I missed a word there. Clients continue to send me referrals and always come back to me for all of their real estate needs because they see my value and know that I truly care for them. Habits, I am actively keeping up to date with education to be my best for those I serve. I constantly use time blocking for my action steps and marketing in conjunction with those team members I work with on these. Brandy and I continue to add value to the office through culture, marketing, and systems to make it more attractive for people to work at and with.
Yeah, I might suggest one more belief up there, and then I'm going to open it up to Shireen and Jessica. It's implied in some of these, but I think this is a core thing that even as we do our one-on-one, Shauna, that I want us to look at, because there might be a little bit of fear around not being valued in the office. And so I think a statement of I am valued at, or Randy and I are valued at the office, or I am valued at the office.
Is it I am valued, or is it I am valuable? Is there a difference between those two?
I read
valued.
valued. Yeah, I read valued.
Okay, yeah, Shauna answered real quick.
Yeah.
Because you can be valuable and people cannot see that.
Yeah, true.
Goals. I have 7 full-time productive agents in the office besides myself. And I continue to work towards having the office income consistent among the working brokers.
Yeah. So the goals are the action items that get you to your 3-year I am statements, right? So the I am, meaning the office is financially stable without income from you all, is covered there. The you can leave. So and I would offer up, like, ask yourself, what would it take for me to step away from the office and feel confident that things are being handled? Because then that would be like, as you look at your goal, when you think 7 full-time productive agents, it might just be a couple bullets underneath that says, hiring an office manager or whatever title or whatever you want to give them, that's kind of overseeing for you, your right-hand person, your mini me, to get you to that point. How many productive agents do you have in your office right now, without you and Randy?
Without me and Randy, I have 2 and 2 that aren't productive.
So you have 4 total?
I have 4 agents that are full-time, 2 are very productive and 2 are not productive.
Perfect. Yeah. So do you all see then where like taking this, I have 7 full-time productive agents in the office beside myself, like that's something that's kind of exciting. And then the what would it take becomes the actions, right? Those are the tactics, the inspired action to make that happen.
And Sean,
Jessica,
I'll put in here, it's from me, like productive agents, I would like to know more about what does that mean? Like really hone in what a productive agent looks like, you know, what are their characteristics? What do they have? What do they do? You know, because you could have 7 full-time people come in that are really productive. Like if it's just making things happen, it could be a total pain in your ass. You know, like they might produce a bunch of revenue, but
Yeah, I feel like I answered those questions back when I was talking about the culture in our office and that we have the ability to choose agents or brokers who fit our culture. Does that make sense? Because yeah,
I know my question, I guess, is there benefit to, instead of just saying culture, define the culture in the vivid vision, instead of saying productive, define, or no?
I think it depends, Shireen. If you don't like, Shauna has a culture right now. Some of it might be shifting because 2 of them aren't productive, but we don't know if that's because the systems aren't set up and she has them doing other stuff, or if that's, you know, so some of that is then going to go into your tactical plan that we're going to do next when we go into your
Oh,
business.
that makes sense. Yeah.
What this is honestly, where did mine go? Is for you to take a look at every day. And I mean, you guys have seen mine and I have it, it's in my briefcase, that you can go through and it takes you maybe 5 minutes to read through all of your IM statements, because it's constant space repetition that you're going to teach your brain to be thinking, I am this. Right. So it continues to rewire your brain, kind of like I think well, let me ask really quick. Shauna, did you have any more slides?
I do. I have my spiritual.
Okay, yeah. So I'll go in. So we're trying to rewire your brain. And it's similar to like, if you think about in Africa, the water buffalo that go to the watering hole, right? And they follow the same path to the watering hole. And so there's this gorge that starts to happen. Jessica heard me say this in a speech the other day. And so what happens is this one kind of rebellious water buffalo says, ooh, I think there's an easier way to get there. And so she goes off into this different path and goes and gets there before everybody else and starts drinking the water. The next day, the same thing happens, and all these other water buffalo are going, ooh, who's she? She thinks blah, blah, blah. You can do the whole narrative. And she continues to go. Well, then day 4 or 5, another water buffalo follows her. And then another one and another one until finally a bunch of them are following her. But that path started out as grass, right? And so it takes some time for that neural pathway to start creating itself in your brain. And so it's the constant space repetition. So when you read this to yourself, every day, I like to do mine in the morning. When you read this to yourself every day, then you start to believe it. So even as Jessica was saying, okay, 50% of me was like belief, the other 50% was like, this is hogwash, right? Like, that's okay, because that's exactly what we want. Because we want to get to that point where your subconscious brain starts to then tell your conscious brain, nope, 60% of me now believes that this is true. 70% of me now believes this is true because it is, right? And we start to continue to create that belief. So whatever you need to put in this, and believing me, you and I individually, you know, each of us will kind of look through some of this too, because part of what I'm going to ask you to do in the next step is send this to me, and I'm going to save it in your file and share it with you. And that way, any updates you do to it, we both have access to see it. And if you want to share it with everybody else, you can too. I don't care. But like, that way, this is kind of what we're going towards. And eventually, it doesn't have to be in the slideshow, but eventually you'll have each of those sections filled out, right? Because it's about the lit up life, not just the lit up business, right?
Right.
Does that help, Shireen?
Yeah. And Shauna, I did experience you quite confident that you know what productive means to you.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah.
conversation.
Let's see. Sorry. I'm a woman who, okay, spiritual. I am a woman who finds peace in the day to day and stays in the present. I am a woman who has the want, time, and energy to love on others and make sure they know they are loved. I'm a woman who trusts that God will meet my needs financially, with time and relationships and social needs, as well as with the responsibilities I have. I have empathy for people and their situations. However, I do not allow their issues to become mine. I am here to help them, but not take on their worries or their consequences. I am accepting of others. Their choices are theirs. I do not give off the impression of judgment by my action, words, or my face.
Your resting bitch face.
Yeah. I can
Yeah.
even try. I mean, I can be fine with what somebody is saying to me, and I can, like, I may not agree with them, but I can be fine with it. And my face, I mean, they can just see something in my face that's like, well, she doesn't agree with me. And it's like, well, I don't agree with you, but I mean, if you're going to jump off that bridge, it's not something I would do, but it's you. Go ahead and do it. But they can see on my face that I don't agree with them. Anyway, something to work on.
Yeah. And back up 2 seconds, Shauna, if you would.
Mhm.
And I want to open it up to Shireen and Jessica. I would recommend to you to take your gratitude journal.
Mhm.
And because you are a woman who finds peace in the day to day. And like I've been switching this up myself. So you guys feel free to, that if you feel like peace is something you're looking for, at the end of the day, write down 3 times or 2 times or 1, whatever, where you found peace in the day, right? Because what we focus on gets bigger. So as you continue to do that, like for me, I'm looking, oh, here's where I see abundance show up in my life. I picked this beautiful peony this morning right outside my office, and like these things. So yeah. Shireen or Jessica, any questions or thoughts on spiritual?
I love the
Only,
picture in the middle. That was a good touch.
pardon?
I liked your picture in the middle. I thought was a
Oh,
nice
thank
touch.
you. I believe there is joy to be found in all moments and situations. I believe God will meet my needs, and worry is not something that will help or that I need to bother with. I believe that regardless of the choices the people I love make, it will all turn out the way it is meant to be, and that although I don't need to take on their problems or try to solve them, I can still be available for them with empathy and love. Habits. I practice a morning ritual of walking, journaling, meditating, stretching, and setting my intentions. I read 2 books a year and listen to podcasts regarding peace and joy, trust, and spirituality. I spend time in nature being active, hiking, kayaking, skiing, and resting weekly. I set aside time to pray each day and do as needed throughout the day.
Nice. Do you have little triggers for yourself, Shauna? Like for me, when I go to a stoplight, or if I hear an ambulance or the life flight, like do you have things periodically throughout your day, or if I'm standing in a line or whatever?
I don't.
Yeah, you
No,
might have some triggers.
yeah, that's a good idea. I just like will see something. I'll see somebody on the side of the road that their car broke down. And so I'll just like say a little silent prayer for them or whatever. But I don't have anything that like every time I have to go to the bathroom, I
Mhm.
or whatever. But that's a good idea. Thank you. Goals: to start my day 4 days a week with my morning ritual, to practice daily the things that fill me up in order for me to love on others, and to find joy in the mundane tasks and things that aren't my favorite. So like if I'm folding, well, I was folding laundry this weekend and there was a lot of laundry because we had rented out the cabin. And so I had sheets and towels and all kinds of stuff. And then I was like, I picked up this towel that I took the little boys down to the lake when I went up to clean. And it was the feral child moment. And they had so much fun. And I picked up that towel and it was the towel that we used to dry them off after they got out of that freezing cold water. And I was like, you know what? This dirty towel brought me so much joy that day. And so there are things that you can do in everyday life to find those things, hopefully.
Shonda, that's great. I'm going to steal that idea. You know,
It
like
was-
as you're doing dishes or as you're doing certain things, like having the
Yeah.
game.
Yeah, like I hate loading the dishwasher. Well, how come I have all these dirty dishes? There's a reason. Yeah. And that's it. That's what I have.
Nice. Jessica or Shireen, comments, thoughts,
I do
feedback?
have one comment. We started off with talking about the will have. Everything else was present.
Except for my financial. Yeah.
Mhm. And only, I think I'd have to see it again, but I only think 2 of your financial.
Yeah. And then Shauna, I would just say get rid of the twos, like here on your goal sheet. Just say start my day, practice daily, find joy in the mundane
Okay.
tasks. Because
Okay.
2 kind of gives the impression of forward, right?
Right. Let me see if I can stop screen sharing.
It's also more action, like to start sounds like I'm going to do it in the future. And start sounds like I'm doing it now for some reason to me.
I don't know how to stop sharing my screen, people.
Let's see what fun you have on your screen.
There you go. There you go. Nicely done. Okay. Quick question, Miss Jessica. Give us a date. Like, let's wait until, do you want to do it like on July 9th?
That
So
sounds great.
So you have a week after.
Yeah, I think it's important for you guys to know I had my 4th interview with one of the companies yesterday, and they made me an informal offer.
Which one was
And
it?
this is the Packard Wheeler. This would be a sales manager or sales director role, as opposed to the other one is like real stable, but I just go back to being a broker, right? And
I don't know. Good job.
this is the preferred one, even though I have to show up in the office every day for 6 months, which sounds terrible. I
I
was
like how
gone
you
yesterday
converted that to
most of
6 weeks.
I know. I was gone most of the day yesterday, and the dog was like, "Where the hell have you been?" And I'm like, "I know this is gonna happen all the time now." But we, they brought numbers, and there were a few questions that I had, but finally I said, well, I have to say what I would like to do here is I'd like us to look at each other in the eyes and say if this is what we're doing, because I know there's a few details for us to work out, but I need us to look at each other in the eyes, shake each other's hand, and say this is what we're doing, so that I can tell the other companies that I'm talking to that I have found my fit. And so he goes, "What do you think I'm going to say?" And I said, "Yes." And he goes, "Yes for me." It felt like the voice. "That's a yes for me." And then the COO said, "Absolutely." We shook hands. I said, "Thank you." He said, "I hope you can close other sales like you just closed us just now." Because instead of like, "Well, let's keep talking," I was like, I just need to know what we're doing. Are we doing this? So they said yes to all the things that I asked for, including paying for medical, dental, and vision for myself and both of my kids.
Jessica, that's fantastic.
So, it feels really good. And, one of the challenges I had last night is that feels good. I called a couple of people called my parents, called my best friend to discuss it. And then I was like, man, I still am in this depressive relapse hole for the last few days. And so I get in little Polaroid moments the understanding why people can have great things happening in their life and still have depression and then have guilt and shame about the fact that everything is going great and I should feel great and I don't.
Yeah. Are you shaming your shame?
I don't
Jump on
know.
that
I think I was,
bandwagon, maybe?
I think last night it was the effort to acknowledge my, the fact that it gives me shame, which is something I had when I first was right before I got sober. That I had everything the world ever said should make me happy, and I just wanted to die. And because by all external appearances, you've got it going on. So um, I'm trying to reconcile, like, you know, there's peace about the fact that um, I absolutely got what I was asking for. There's obviously a lot of unknown because this position didn't exist before. They made it up so that they could hire me. And there's a lot of unknown about it. And the last time I made a career change, it went terribly. So I have some, subconscious and conscious apprehension about trusting myself to make a decision. But so
As you go through that, right, don't hesitate. I mean, I know you have a good support system too with your therapist, but don't hesitate to reach out to me.
okay. So thank you. So yeah, a little bit of space to get the dust to settle because I still have just this super fucking dumb job that I have for the next 3 weeks until I can tell them to go fuck themselves respectfully.
So we'll do that on July 9th. And then it was interesting because I pulled cards for each one of you. And Jessica, while you were talking, I pulled a card and no shit, here's what came up for you. Hardship.
Damn it.
May I embrace what's, I know, right? May I embrace what's happening right now, as baffling or painful as it is. Help me, God, to trust where you are guiding me. I am yours.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. And then Shireen, the card change.
Mm.
And it says, don't scare yourself with the next 40 steps. All you need is that one next action. You can say to love, just show me the first step and change me into one who can take it. Ooh, I like that stuff.
Can you screenshot that and send it to me?
I'll take a picture of it and send it to you. Do you want yours too, Jess?
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Jessica's like, no, I don't want mine.
Yeah, I'm all set with the lessons. Thank you.
Yours has some mandolin stuff and it's ambition. May I offer all my deepest longings to love itself and invite a divine plan beyond the mind's imagining. Please use me for the highest good. I think that's rather interesting since you just presented yours. And then I pulled this one for Chantel. It's courage. Divine courage is not the absence of fear, but a nudge that says, keep going, do it, don't worry, all will be well. You have to get quiet enough to hear it. Dear divine, may I feel your courage and your will. And then mine says divine timing. The divine brings things in the timing that we need. Nothing comes before we're prepared, nor leaves too early. May I always trust your perfect and holy timing, dear Lord. Okay, so I'll take pictures. Actually, what I'm going to do you remember which card was which for you guys? I'm just going to take a picture of all 4 and send it to you. And then if you want to crop it and keep it or whatever you can, but that way you have it. So, okay, ladies, thank you so much. Start reading your Vivid Vision book if you get a chance. Just kind of start to dabble into it or listen. For those of you, did everybody that had Audible get theirs? Okay.
Yep.
Because part of what we're going to be doing in June and July is looking at the business and financial a little bit, but business section of it more in depth. And I'm going to be doing this exercise with you because my Vivid Vision, as I had mentioned, has changed slightly. Still some of the basic core value, like the values and all of those things, but some of the, like what that looks like in the future is changing. The outcome is not, but the how I get there is. So we'll be working on that. And then I meet with Tammy tomorrow. So if you do have feedback on the DR, get that to me. We'll also be looking at Belize, so that I can't believe it's already coming around. So that you know, because here in July-ish, August, we'll be looking at tickets and getting stuff ready for September. In September, leave a little space in your baggage again for some swag, because you don't get swag just once. And I do have a book that we're going to actually, instead of killing a bunch of trees and making a bunch of worksheets, that we're going to work through a lot of pieces in it, and it's called The Energy of Money. So we'll be doing some things, we'll be doing these vivid visions for our business. And the plan is to have each of you share a little bit more in depth about your business vivid vision. I'll share mine so you can kind of see the format. And then we'll start to talk about kind of parallel and with some of this, some of our money stories to get in preparation for September. So that's kind of what you're looking at over the next few months as we go forward. So, alrighty. Awesome. As
Awesome.
always, I love all the interaction on WhatsApp, so keep that up.
Thanks, you guys.
You
It's
have a
great.
good week.
Have a good one, guys. Bye.